Hey y'all, it is your favorite nerdy girl here, Nerdygirlreviews, and we are back with another recap for P-Valley. Season 2. We'll be reviewing the last 4 episodes that I have to catch up on. If you'd like to see and hear the whole full commentary, keep me liked here on YouTube. If you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in bio. If you're watching this on IG Stories, click on the link. It'll link you back to my YouTube channel. I'm also available on TikTok under Nerdy Girl Reviews. And if you'd like to see my other reviews and recaps, you can find me on SoFitoForYourSoul.com. Let's get into this review, y'all. Long overdue. Are y'all loving this light? Sorry if you're light sensitive, sorry. But isn't this the cutest thing in the world? It goes nice with the pink. Alright, y'all. Stay tuned. Yes, y'all, we are listening to P-Valleys, and of course, that soundtrack is always banging. Megan Thee Stallion, aka Tina Snow, featuring J. Alphonse Nicholson, Little Murder. Get it on the floor. And she made her little debut. Well, I shouldn't say little because she is gorgeous and vivacious and definitely made a splash. So we'll get into that once we get to it. So be right back. Let's slow down here on The Quiet Storm. If you're a New Yorker, born and raised, or a longtime resident who doesn't remember The Quiet Storm, man, those were the classics. So let's slow it down just a tad. And yes, if I'm trying to do my best, Tina Snow, but she had, of course, these encrusted gemstones, diamonds, bustier, whatnot. But we work with the elements. I got pearl, diamond earrings, dangly earrings. Anyway, we are listening to LTD Love Ballad. So I just want to slow things down. Let's get into the reviews. My goodness, I'm actually a little on the somber side because I can't believe we had such an incredible season. I mean, my hat's off to the creative team, the writers of P-Valley, the creator, Katori Hall. It didn't disappoint. I'm the type of person, well, most of us, after a couple of seconds, if we lose any kind of interest, we're reaching our phone. It's the only show I don't feel tempted to pick up my phone or check to see. I am like devoted to the hour. Close to 45 minutes depending on the episode, but I'm devoted. So episode 207, Jackson. So we see that our grandmother, because Uncle Clifford does not call his grandmother. She's very southern, and I love how everybody expresses themselves on this show. Grandmother, very south and southern. Our beloved grandmother, Ernestine. She falls ill from COVID, and I applaud them for showing that because for the longest, for a lot of our older generation, ancestors, close family members, nobody was buying this at the beginning. And it was at a very crucial time because there was no vaccine. So you can see the first few episodes that she wasn't even taking it to heart. Our grandmother Ernestine, she would, like a lot of people who were holding on to some conspiracy theory, and a lot of our elderly kinfolk fell ill and some deceased. So there was the possibility that we could have lost this character just so that it can mimic real life. Um, but as we start this episode, we have a 50 plus year trajectory of the pink. The way it starts out with these beautiful colors, and we see the evolution of the pink. We see the very first few instances of how it was a juke joint, and their beloved starlet, their beloved star of the pink was Ernestine, and how she comes out like it's like the 1960s, and she has like that very beautiful beehive and doo-wop kind of. She's playing to one particular song. I guess it must have been her favorite song. And then we see layers of years passing by, and then yeah, there were maybe some instances of, you know, prostitution or whatnot. It was a nightclub, and people did what they had to survive. But it's not heavy. It's not as heavy presented as the pink today, as it is today. And then we see the 70s. We have like Soul Train, resemblance, and as they're doing the whole like dances of the time, and in very much in that linear kind of way of dancing as they did on the Soul Train shows back in the day with Don Cornelius. I'm dating myself. But it looked fun. Everybody had their afro puffs and whatnot, their platform shoes, and she's still singing the same song. Then we transition to the 80s, and then we see, and she's for every decade, she knew how to dress herself accordingly. And she looks like the typical 1980s pop star, our grandmother. And we see a young baby Clifford, and he's adorable, and he's running around behind his mama, and we see his mother, and it's very 1980s, so she has very much that hairdo, and he's running behind her with his clutch. He has always embraced who he is, and he has a clutch, Gucci, and it was a genuine Gucci, was not a knockoff. And she picks him up, his mama, and is like, look at your grandmama. And we see like there's been such history developed in those walls that is something that bogs down Clifford, because the thought of Haley still pushing to sell, and for whatever price that she wants to put it and maybe share it with Clifford, it still doesn't feel right. It feels like almost like a part of him is being removed, aside from the fact that he's already feeling vulnerable and at a loss because his rock has always been his grandmother. And I can relate, I know what that feeling feels like, because when you put yourself in that position where you're a caretaker and that person's been everything to you, once you can see that there's a transition, and when it's fast forwarded by something like COVID, it can really wreck you. So it puts them in a very pensive and